I grew up in Atlanta, and then I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I went to UNC. So I've come from a couple of larger cities. So what makes Durham's watershed unique?
Durham is just a unique community in general. It's this really interesting mix of people, and it's this really interesting mix of nature. And I think those two things combined make it really fascinating and it's a really cool place to work. I wouldn't say that the fact that Durham is a city makes it unique, or the fact that Durham has nature in the city makes it unique. But I do think what makes Durham unique is that there are a lot of people that value having nature close to them. And as an ecologist and a biologist, we're often focused on the Yellowstones and Alaska and places to travel to and places that have rare species. But increasingly in the US, where development is happening so rapidly and so many things are getting homogenized through development and through other land use practices, those little pockets of urban nature are the places that are going to make the difference between us remaining unique and us becoming just like every other person. And so for me, urban nature is a super important concept for Durham because we have it. We could lose it over the next 10 years very quickly. And it's this resource that I think a lot of us want, but a lot of us take for granted because we have it now, but much of it's not protected. And there are ways that we can protect it. And that's where I think I get really excited about working at Aqua because I think we can do that. I think the other kind of cool thing about urban nature is that there is a surprising amount of biodiversity in these little pocket parks. And so we may not have red cockaded woodpeckers, which are this rare species of woodpecker that's on the coastal plain that people care about because they're in danger of going extinct. But we do have habitat for, say, migratory warblers that pass through every year in the spring and then pass back through in the fall, that if there weren't some forested wetlands, wouldn't be able to survive the migration. We do have places where, and our creek now has habitat for otters, which at one point were either extinct or almost extinct in North Carolina, and now have recolonized our watershed. We've got a creek that used to have rare species of mussels and possibly even these large river salamanders called water dogs. It's too polluted to have them, but wouldn't it be cool to have a goal to restore and to have them back again? And have them in a place where there were a lot of people around to see it and witness it. And so for me, that's all super important. And I think the third piece of urban nature that's really important is it can be, not only is it a place that provides a harbor for wildlife, but it's a place that can connect communities in Durham. So through, it doesn't have to be like a paved trail like South LA, but through trails and through access to forest and through different neighborhoods having not just ways that you can walk between neighborhoods rather than just drive through them. I think we can really stitch together a better community. So all those things are really, I think, a little, they're a little pie in the sky right now because there's so much development pressure, but I think if we can keep working on them over the next 10 or 20 years, it's going to be a difference between being a unique, good city and a really unique, amazing city.
Yeah, and I've lived in the watershed for about 2 to 3 years now, and I could say that this is probably the most that I've ever been connected with nature while living in an urban area.
Yeah.